when he was going for it, even though he finally got it and he turned it around for an enormous profit. I think they sold it for 30 million or something like that. He bought it for $1 million. But he knew when he wanted to buy this company, is an international candy company, beverage company, and cakes and all that. He knew when he was going after this company that he had to a degree disguise who he was. Right. So he created the TLC Beatrice, the holding company. And every time they went on these meetings, he would go as if he's representing the company. See, they was oblivious to the fact that he was Reginald Lewis actually trying to, take control of the company. And that was one of the things I got from this book. And it's very important even to this day to not let them see you coming. Right. Anybody, anyone, no matter how close, no matter how dear you think they are, you can't reveal your hand all the time to everyone, because they're not going to understand what it is that you're trying to do and where you're trying to go. Sometimes you got to be shrewd. Sometimes you got to be to the point. You got to be tact. But sometimes you got to also have kid gloves. You got to also be able to be gentle with people and try to show them the way. 9 times out of 10, when a person don't understand you, they trying to block you. They trying to stop you. They don't understand what you're trying to do. So you can't let a person know all the times what it is that you're trying to do. But yeah, go ahead. I just wanted to start off with that and tell you certain aspects of what I got from the book.
Yeah, and it's crazy. You actually introduced me to the book, and at the time, you didn't have the book in your possession, but I remember you talking about it, and then you asked me like, "Yo, you read this book?" And at the time, I probably read 1,000 books. So how I missed that one, right? So I was like, I have to read it. I felt kind of out the loop, you know what I'm saying, right? So, and the title alone, I remember this vividly. We was having this conversation, and you mentioned, I'm like, man, that title alone was attractive. You get what I'm saying? I said, wow, that's an interesting title. You know what I'm saying? Then you gave me like a synopsis of the book. Then I came across it actually a little later on, a couple years later. A brother had it, let me. I said, oh, you got that book? You know what I'm saying? And the crazy thing is, when something's on your mind, right, it comes to you. It's just a matter of time. So the book just came across my bed. Like, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I actually ordered it was so good. I actually ordered a copy for myself. But yeah, it was inspirational, right? And motivating, because you look at a guy, they talked about his background, coming up in Baltimore, poverty. You know what I mean? One thing I like about him, and I see similar characteristics between me and him, he didn't allow his circumstances to define him.
Mm-hmm.
Right? He didn't accept poverty as his lot in life, like a lot of us do. Sometimes you may hear people say, man, it is what it is. Right? I don't subscribe to that. What you mean it is what it is? This is poverty. We could get out of this, either individually or collectively, depending on our will to do so. Mm-hmm. And what he demonstrated was his will, right? And you see, he was in sports. They talk about his whole life in the book. And they talk about his personality a little bit, how, he was, some of them may call him like an a-hole, because, he was zero tolerance.
He was zero tolerance, man.
Because he had a plan and a goal. But, no one gets to that level of success without ruffling some feathers.
Absolutely.
Because you got the vision, you got the goal. And if you put people onto it, they may not see it or be as serious about it as you are. You know what I mean? So with certain things about his personality that I liked, you know what I mean? And yeah, so like I said, I like the fact that he didn't accept poverty as his lot in life. Mm-hmm. You understand? He didn't. He wasn't like confined to a box. You know what I mean? That's why you see the title. Why should white guys have all the fun? He's seen investing on that scale. Like, you know what? I could do that as well. That's not just for them.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And yeah, man, so I admire the brother, man. And it was one part in the book where it stuck with me as well, where after he did the deal for the $30 million, remember, this is when he encountered Michael Milken.
Yes.
Right? And he said that, he just closed on a $30 million deal. That was big for him.
Yeah, it was
But
big for him.
But that was light.
Yes. In
in,
that realm, that was light.
In that realm, it was light. You know, Michael Milken was like, okay, yeah, 30 million, that was nice. Well, you know what? Come over here. Let me show you. Like,
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And it just goes to show that sometimes whatever it is you think that you're doing, it's another level. So what that said to me was, remain humble. You know what I'm saying? Remain humble, because then he got exposed to different levels.
Yes.
But that was interesting to me because I have my own experiences with that. Just coming from the streets. You think you're doing a little something.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And you may be doing a little something in your little world.
In your little world.
Right? You're the big fish in the small pond.
Absolutely.
But what happens is you get out there and now you're the little fish in the big pond.
Absolutely. And let me tell you, another part is what I like is that once he secured this company, because it was rough times. It seemed like he was going to get it. Didn't seem like he was going to get it.
Right.
During the negotiations, he was smart. He realized, he said, hold on, how much is this company valued at? And all the different pieces, like companies here in Switzerland or companies here in Ireland or Ireland or companies over here, how much is each of these things worth? You know what? He starts saying, I can sell off certain aspects of these things to pay back the money that I'll borrow. You feel what I'm saying? And then I never, it was amazing to me because I just didn't understand it. And so when I speak to people, by no means do I try to equate an education in finance or business with what I've learned.